Hello everyone, welcome to the program. This is Politics Today live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimaloye here in Abuja. Tonight, we're going to deal with some issues related to the election and party issues. You remember yesterday, I had a conversation with a former governor, Ayo Fayose, and their reactions to what he said on the program, especially as related to Atiku Abubakar, the PDP, and the 2027 election. Tonight, let's get to hear from yet another leader in the party and a heavyweight in every ramification. But let's also tell you that the National Working Committee of the PDP, led by Momodu Damagum, is threatening to unleash the police on suspended officers of the party for contempt of court. The acting National Publicity Secretary of the party, Mr. Ibrahim Manga, stated he's at a news conference in Abuja today, where he also alleged that some prominent members of the party are fueling the ongoing rift that has split the party into two factions. Take a listen to him.
We are constrained to express our utter disgust and disappointment in our colleagues' resort to motor park approach to a mere suspension aimed at providing them with the opportunity to clear themselves of certain allegations leveled against them. Although we have detailed knowledge of the dramas, and this is in caps, the dramas are external, they are not internal, but they are indeed members of the party, and they are in privileged quarters, and they are the ones sponsoring these mischief makers, but it will end the way it has started, without any result. The masquerades should have been guided in their dance steps to avoid stripping themselves naked on the stage. In the face of the reckless violation of a subsisting court order, therefore, we are hereby left with no option but to deploy the services of security agencies in the enforcement of the rule of law.
All right, now, we'll dig deeper into the crisis rocking the PDP. Now, also, I will take you to Edo State, and we'll also put our fingers and try to take a slice in dissecting what is happening between the APC and the PDP. The Labour Party candidate Olumide Akpata has given his own position as to whether or not he's going to pursue to challenge the outcome of the election in court. All of those who will dissect for you tonight. But the PDP is thinking that INEC is colluding with some element in ensuring to score through the process of scrutinizing the process. The APC says it doesn't have a hand in it, but there are a lot of back and forth. But let's get to hear from a former presidential aspirant within the People's Democratic Party and a publisher, Chief Dele Momodu, who joins us live from our Lagos studio. It's good to have you join us tonight on the program, Chief Momodu. Thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Good evening, Seun. My pleasure to be on your program. Yes.
Always a delight to have you. Let's get a feel of how you feel of what is happening within the People's Democratic Party. Yesterday, Chief, former Governor Ayo Fayose said it's totally embarrassing what is going within the PDP. What are your own views?
Well, yes, he's right that it is embarrassing, but who are the people causing the embarrassment? They are members of his group, led by the Minister of FCT, former Governor Nyesom Wike. So if he says it is embarrassing, they know what to do. I've never seen a situation where an opposition party will voluntarily, openly, shamelessly work for the ruling party. We're supposed to be in opposition. I just heard you now saying that Momodu Damagum, the suspended acting chairman, suspended, because a faction suspended him, and he too suspended others, saying that he will use the police force when the PDP become a military wing in Nigeria, where you will apply force on members of your own party. And what gives you, the power to unleash security forces? I read as a student in Ife and interacting with my friends who were lawyers, about a principle of law, Nemo Judex in Council Swa. A man cannot be a judge in his own cause. So now Damagun is a judge and is not satisfied with being a judge, is now a security man who will unleash security on fellow members of his own party. It tells you what is going on in our party. It's very unfortunate.
Chief Momodu, you say that, you have alleged tonight that Chief Ayofayose and his group are responsible for the crisis in the party. There are those who will ask you, how did you know? What do you know? What makes you think they are responsible? There are those who also say you and your friends and your group are the ones that are fueling the crisis in the PDP. How do you substantiate your claim tonight, sir?
Yeah, truth is constant. They've never hidden their mission in the struggle ongoing in PDP. They've never hidden it. Even on your program, go on Google and search all the things they've said. They've boasted that they worked for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2023, and they've also said it in advance that they will work for him in 2027, and they will remain in PDP and they will not leave PDP so that they can continue to hold PDP down, press its neck on behalf of whoever they are working for. But ultimately, they are working for themselves because they also have their own game plan. Everybody knows, even members of APC, they know that these guys are playing games. They are hoping that somewhere along the line, President Tinubu may not run in 2027, and then they will hold PDP down so that they can use PDP, because they know APC will never give them their platform. Nobody is going to allow you, after destroying your own home, to come and destroy their home. So everybody knows. You know, as a journalist, I interact at the highest level, at the lowest level. I have access to information. And it's unfortunate that these guys are leading PDP to Golgotha. The constitution of the party is very clear. If Dr. Yechayayu has left, the next person to occupy that position must come from his part of the country, the north central region of Nigeria. As at the last check, I didn't see that Damagun is from north central. So why is he fighting tooth and nail to hold on to power like a military dictator, to the extent that he's not saying he will unleash? Let him unleash terror on fellow members of his party, and let's see how it goes. The whole world is watching. Those days are gone.
Chief Momodu, if I may jump in quickly, there are those, and I asked Governor Ayofayose yesterday about the possibility of some of those who are respected in the party, like Atiku Abubakar, to weighing on the matter. And how would those people who said they've sweated, they've sacrificed for the PDP, built the PDP, they were the founding fathers, look on, and the party, according to you, is headed for Golgotha? Golgotha meaning that it's headed for disaster. Now, don't you think for a moment that the caliber of Atiku Abubakar, who is now saying, and traditionally or conventionally, when we imagine in the politicking and the politic scheming of things, that Atiku Abubakar stands as now the leader of the PDP, shouldn't him have reigning on anyone who is trying to scuttle things in the party? One we imagine that Atiku Abubakar should have been the conscience of the party, such that he should be able to galvanize everyone and help the party to straighten things out. Don't you think, Mr. Momodu?
Two things. You said they claim that they've labored for the party. As a matter of fact, the party has labored for most of them. They've gained more from the party than the party ever gained from them. That's number one. Number two, have you seen a woman who will fall into labor? I've witnessed my wife a couple of times falling into labor, and I know how difficult it is. And then after delivering the baby, you will now say, because you are fighting your husband for whatever reason, you are going to kill your baby. Is that possible? That's what they are doing. It's simple logic. I went to Ife, Great Ife. We were taught logic. These guys don't apply logic to everything they are saying. You are saying Atiku should rein them in. How? When Atiku is their main target. You heard everything that Governor Ayofayoshe said last night. Saying Atiku should get out of politics. Is that democracy? I don't care if Atiku decides he doesn't want to run. That is his personal business. But it is not Fayoshe that will tell Atiku whether to run or not to run. Why? If he says Atiku is too old to run, let him come out. I challenge him. I know he's a very bold person normally. Let him come out and say Tinubu should not run in 2027. Let Wike come and tell Tinubu not to run in 2027. You see, we fought for this democracy. I am a part-time politician. I'm a man of modest income. I'm not chasing anything in PDP or outside PDP. But I just want Nigeria to be good. Because if Nigeria is good, Nigeria parades some of the greatest human beings on earth. If Nigeria is good, you don't need a godfather. If Nigeria is good, you don't have to depend on politics, for a living. A lot of people in Nigeria depend permanently, parasitically on politics for a living. And we've told them many times, you lost an election, a primary in 2022, get over it, get a life. You are crying like a baby every day. A baby whose lollipop has been taken away from me. Every day they are crying. Atiku defeated you. Get a life. And you already have a life. God has been kind to you. You did well as governor in Rivers. I've always said it. Now you are a minister. Why don't you just face that business? But I don't blame them. It is the president who has refused to rein them in. It's not Atiku that will rein them in because they don't report to Atiku. Atiku is not their boss. And Atiku is not dictatorial. There is not a single state that Atiku controls in Nigeria where we say the governor is under its watch. No. Atiku is a businessman who lives his life quietly with his family, runs his chain of businesses, admirably. So let these guys leave him alone to face his life. Let them also face their own lives. But if they like, let them kill PDP. It's obvious that they don't care if PDP dies. They are only holding PDP by the jugular because they are hoping that in the future they'll be able to use PDP to achieve their own personal ambition. There is no doubt that some people within that group still have, and that is what will ultimately also scatter them, because I know 2 or 3 of them who also have their personal ambitions. But there is one of them that's so rambunctious enough that will never agree any other person to take charge, because he must always be in charge. So Damagun and Co, they know what they are doing. If our Damagun, what more do you want? Now we're losing elections due to lack of concentration, not because PDP is not popular ordinarily, but it requires concerted effort. You cannot work for 2 masters. You want to work for APC, at the same time work for PDP. That's chaos.
Chief Momodu, when you touched on, and you had a write-up earlier today, and you touched on what Ayofayoshe said about the age of Atiku Abubakar, that by the time it will be time for 2027 election, Atiku Abubakar will either be 80 or 81 years of age. And he is of the opinion that at that age, is not healthy enough to lead a country as Nigeria because of the nature of the job. Are you of the opinion that Mr. Fayoshe is wrong, as though Mr. Atiku Abubakar should throw his heart in the ring? Is that what you're indicating, Mr. Momodu?
I have no right whatsoever to dictate to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar how he wants to run his political life. That's not my business. If he decides to run, those who don't like him will not support him. If I disagree with it, these people who are saying this thing, why did they not see Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the then vice president? Did they not see Abubakar Bukola Saraki? Did they not see Kayode Fayemi? And all these young stars. Chibukero, Timi Amechi, all of them. Omoyele Sowore, did they not see them? Why didn't they support a younger person? And like I asked in my release today, what has been the impact of these younger people who said they have been in politics? Go and check their state. What have they done for the amount of money made available to them? So why is the age cannot be an automatic qualification or disqualification in politics? Who would have expected a Joe Biden to come after an Obama? Who would expect a Donald Trump to be contesting a much younger, smart lady like Kamala Harris right now? So it is up to God and destiny. I'm a child of destiny, and that is why I have contentment. I don't have to struggle. I don't have to fight anybody to live my life modestly. So, but these guys, everything for them is like garrison operation, is by force, by fire. So, if Alhaji Atiku decides to run, good luck to him. If he doesn't want to run, no problem. But for anybody to want to muzzle him, why are they afraid of him? I can answer the guess.
Is Atiku Abubakar a threat to Bola Tinubu wanting to run in 2027?
I'm sure they believe so. I know those who believe so, that he's the only one right now.
But from your own point of view, from your own standpoint, Mr. Dele Momodu, is Atiku a threat to Bola Tinubu running for re-election?
It will be a threat if he's able to galvanize a mega political party. It will be a threat. Is it because people don't understand? Even if you say, oh, incumbent can rig, we saw what happened. Why did we bring Buhari in 2015? Buhari was brought because they knew he was the only one who had the capacity to unite the North. And then the rest will be to walk across the Niger, the Benue, and then bring people together. If that happens, it is very possible. Because right now everybody is crying in Nigeria. And don't forget the mood factor in elections. The mood factor is that if the mood of the nation is overwhelmingly opposed to the leader, now today we can see in retrospect that President Jonathan was one of the best leaders in Nigeria, but yet because of the perception that people thought he was not performing well, there was a lot of problems, insecurity and all that, so that mood factor then favored Buhari, who had even given up that he was not going to run again. So, one,
so
the mood,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, to find solution, you need to understand the problem. If I get you right, you are insinuating and you are blaming the Wikis, the Fayoshes of this world for the problem of the PDP. And you are also linking ambition of 2027 to the whole politicking within the PDP. If that is right, if it's not, what would you say is the problem of the PDP at the moment? And how can they solve it? Or perhaps, who do you think can galvanize or help solve the problem of the PDP as it currently is?
Let me tell you, the elders of PDP would have to apply a lot of wisdom as well as a lot of courage. Right now, the people they are dealing with are reckless. They don't care. I've said it earlier. They don't care if PDP dies. If they cannot have it, then kill it. They've made up their minds about that. It's clear. Okay, how will somebody in a party be announcing to you that in 2027 we're going to support the ruling party, and they are still in the same party? Once upon a time, some people left PDP when they were aggrieved. If they had destroyed PDP, would there be a party for them to return to? They didn't destroy the party. That's why they were able to come back. Anybody who has any iota of shame, if I'm aggrieved, I always tell people, look, there was a time as an editor, I was removed and promoted upstairs, and I felt I was promoted into redundancy. I resigned the following day. When I told all my friends, I said, why would you resign? I said, because I have shame. It's obvious that this company no longer needs me, and that is why they have promoted me upstairs. The following day, I resigned. If I'm tired of PDP, I'll resign and go. And so what these guys are doing is either that they want to frustrate a lot of people out of PDP so they can have a free reign, which they are already having anyway. Now, every little thing they run to court. I've never seen a place where courts now run a party, where the courts will decide everything. Now, they have migrated from courts. Now they are going to security forces. We are going to unleash security. Who are they? To unleash security on people, Nigerians? Where were they when we were fighting the military? The president of today, his fame came from fighting the military. So these guys, because they've never fought for anything seriously, power landed in their laps. How can the acting chairman, suspended acting chairman of a party, be threatened to unleash security on fellow party members? What chicanery, what rascality is that? And everybody is watching. All the former leaders of Nigeria, this has gone beyond PDP, APC. A few guys are holding Nigeria to ransom. They are creating chaos up and down. It's unfortunate, but like I said, I'm a part-time politician. Mine is for good governance. As long as there's good governance in Nigeria, an average Nigerian does not care what our politicians do. They just want to be able to feed themselves and their families, to go to school, to get good health. That's all. And when I talk about Atiku, that's my admiration for him. He does not control any state. Atiku does not control any thugs. Atiku does not control INEC. Atiku does not threaten anybody with judiciary. He does not threaten anybody with the police. Only one set of people are controlling all these forces. And we all seem helpless and hopeless. I mean, it's unfortunate.
Let me, just before you go, Chief Momodu, I'd like you to comment briefly on the state of the nation, especially the economic realities that we currently face, the pricing of fuel. And especially today, the Minister of Budget, Mr. Bagudu, has said that the federal government is working hard to change the narrative and change things around. And there are efforts being made to ensure that the living conditions of Nigerians change. And he says that better days are ahead, and they are enacting policies aimed at revamping the nation's economy. Do you have a sense that there is light at the end of the tunnel, just like the Vice President Kashim Shettima also said today, that there is a light at the end of the tunnel? Do you see that ray of light, Mr. Momodu?
You see, a woman whose child has been killed before by a witch may not trust any woman. I've lived long enough in this country called Nigeria, 64 years plus, and I've listened to all the sweet talk by politicians and political leaders. I'm yet to see the sign of that light at the end of the tunnel. But I'm not going to argue with them. I wish them the best of luck. I want Nigeria to be good, as I said, so it's not in my interest for Nigeria to collapse. So if they do it well, history would applaud them. And if they don't do it well, the people coming after them will also tell them the same thing they are saying about Buhari, a member of their own party now, that Buhari left them collapsed the economy and everything. The same party accusing itself. So it doesn't take time. Before you know it, 4 years is gone. Maybe whatever they do, they get another 4 years. It's okay. We're used to it. At my age, I've almost virtually given up on anything happening from them, because we can see the sign that politicians...
But Chief Momodu, quickly, if let's take the words of the government. For example, the president who has said that, look, it's like the pain of childbearing. In the initial stage, it will be painful, involving some gnashing of the teeth. And at the end of the day, it will be better. Can we take the words of the president for it and for a moment believe that, let's be optimistic, is it possible? Do you believe in the capacity and the path that this government has been threading over the last few months or so, in the policies that I've made, that things can actually get better? We experience the initial pain, But do you see the capacity of the president in delivering to Nigerians better life in the long run?
Sheung, Nigeria has turned me into an incurable pessimist. There is nothing you say, I will just sit down, look, and be watching. I don't know anything about capacity any longer. You see, you know the story of Abiku. Abiku has turned the herbalist into a novice. That is what our political leaders have turned Nigeria into. Leader after leader comes, makes promises. I remember I supported President Buhari in 2015. 2 months after he took power, I started writing letters. I saw the signs that we were going nowhere and we were just going into perdition. And he invited me over, and we had a talk one-on-one. 2 of us in a room, and he said, Dele, what have you seen? I told him. And I compiled all the things I've been writing about previously, and I said, I'm going to write about you. So now, in fact, I stopped writing in this era because I've seen that it's just a waste of time talking to people who will not listen. So I'm minding my business. Oh, people will say, hey, you're supposed to be the president's friend, you are this and that. So for me, I doubt that much will come out of what is going on, because even the people who surround the president, a lot of them are not ready for the change. They are not ready.
Chief Dele Momodu. Yeah, thank you so much indeed. Chief Dele Momodu is a publisher and a former presidential aspirant in the People's Democratic Party in the run-up to the 2023 presidential election. Thank you so much indeed for your thoughts tonight.
Thank you, Sheung.